hypothetically, if there was like a high school kid or middle school kid listening to this, what
Mhm.
advice would you have to them if they're trying to go D1 or run in college?
Really foundational. And this applies to a lot of different concepts in life. Don't miss a day. You know, it just don't miss a day. Even if you take a rest day, like let's say you take Sundays off, you do 6-day weeks, be intentional about it. Go and walk for 15 minutes and then do some stretching after you've gotten the blood moving, um, it is like so simple, and people like don't want to hear it because they want some magic, right?
Yeah.
They want some they want some secret to getting faster, but it's just do it every day, man,
Yeah.
And I'll have kids that like message me and is like, hey, my heart rate was this, is like, what do you think about that? And I'm like, all right, let's not worry about it. Like, we're 2 weeks in, let's just do it every day.
Yeah.
Zooming out and just, I really want to teach the kids that it's about work over a long period of time. It's not some fast track. It's not the express lane, So,
Yeah, I like that. I guess consistency could be another way to put that too.
right.
Just be consistent.
Right. And so when I coach and stuff, I, my coaching business I started up, it's like blue collar endurance. And one of the taglines is a working class mentality. And so whenever I say working class mentality, what do people that are blue collar do? They show up early.
Yeah.
They get it done. And then they go back the next day and they rinse and repeat, So
I like that.
yeah, working class mentality, just adopt that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always loved the mindset of just like work harder than the person next to you, or work harder than yourself than you did yesterday. Just like keep showing up, just work hard. Like you can outsmart or you can outwork anybody. You might not be able to outsmart or out talent somebody, but you can always outwork somebody. So as long as you just keep showing up, I think it's easy. And I do this all the time. I'm like, I blame it on my genetics or like my life experience. Like, I didn't have the right cards. But it's like, dude, just show up and work. Like that can go so far for so many people.
Right.
So I love that mentality.
Yeah, man. There's back in the day, and I love this story. Like it's in the book How Bad Do You Want It?
I've heard of that.
By Matt Fitzgerald, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully I got that right. But there's a section in the book where they talk about the US competing in the World Cross Country Championships, and obviously the giants in distance running, Kenya, Ethiopia, all these places that are dominated by distance runners. They dominate on the world stage. And for a while, we just adopted this mentality of like superhumanization in the US, where we tried to blame the East Africans being better than us on the fact that they have this gene, or they have like this gene that gives them narrow calves, and we don't have that. And then that's why they're better than us as a whole. But then the US team proved that wrong with their performance. I want to say we snuck into the top 3 and we beat either Kenya or Ethiopia. Maybe we got second. I can't remember the specifics of that, but great story about that team.
I like that. That's even like in when I was down in Jamaica, like that was my biggest takeaway. Is like everybody's like, "What's the secret? Why are Jamaicans so fast in the sprints?" And it's like it's just the culture. It's just like the way they live, the way they train. It's like maybe 1% of it is their genetics or something. Like you could argue, maybe, who knows? But so much of it's just the work ethic and the mindset around everything. It's so powerful. I always have to remind myself, like, there's always somebody in a worse off position who's doing more than me or has done better than me. It's like a good reminder that like there's no excuses. You got to just shut up and do the work.
I would argue that the cultural piece of it is really, rather than genetics, is what makes that impact. It's someone trailblazed it, Bolt, right?
Yeah.
There's been plenty of other good Jamaicans in the sprints, and it's just that when someone sees that, they're like, I can do this too.
Yeah.
And that's really the most powerful piece in my mind.
Yeah.
That's why when you see, let's just take a college team for example, it starts off with one athlete doing well, and then the guys latch on, and it's like, man, like I want to be like him. And now next thing you know, we have 2 guys doing well. And that's how championship teams form, you know?
Yeah, it's like when you surround yourself with people doing the thing you want to do or that are better than you, it makes you better just by virtue of being around them and like seeing that it's possible, because it makes you believe in your mind, like, if this guy next to me can do it, why can't I do it? I mean, it's like Oregon's probably a good example of that with like Prefontaine. It's like he was a trailblazer, I feel like, and now, because as far as I know, before like Oregon wasn't really the powerhouse for track and field, but it's like you get this one good guy, and now the whole culture of the school, like they're the track and field school.
Yeah, man. It's like, now, like when distance runners have the stash, it's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
It is. And that's crazy to see like how someone that blazes a trail can really like make an impact like that. People want to be like that. I mean, I've got the stash going on, and like, it pre-started that.
It definitely makes you faster.
Yeah, I wonder what the stash conversion is. I'm not really sure. We need to figure that out though.
Somebody needs to do a study on this. I love that.
Yeah.